Look, somebody asked this very question. What's the difference between assessment, appraisal, and evaluation? Does anybody know where talent is? Off the top of their heads. Does anybody know?
No.
No.
So Tallinn is the capital of Estonia. So somebody's saying.
So what you said, Tallinn is what?
What I said is Tallinn is the capital of Estonia.
Okay.
Okay, let's see what people say. Appraisal is a judgment or assessment of the value of something, especially a formal one. That sounds like me speaking, right? That's what I said earlier, right? While evaluation is an assessment such as an annual personnel performance review used as the basis for a salary increase or bonus or summary of a particular situation. Yeah. This guy is coming from a health care perspective. He says assessment deals with issues of measurement, such as whether someone meets basic competencies and performance. For example, can a physician give a basic physical examination is based on knowledge to do the examination, competency, as well as the ability to actually do it in practice with a real person, performance. Evaluation deals with issues of gauging fit between goals and practice. Yeah, it's all a bit wordy. I like my answer best, guys, right? I really do. So my answer was appraisal is kind of formal and is almost always used in performance evaluation of work. We wouldn't typically say assessment, but we would say assessment to do with exams and also when it's not to do with the person. And evaluate is just a general kind of term where you're assessing the value of something. I might evaluate the worth of some object or a person in terms of their character, etc. So, Elham, that's a tough question you asked me, Nabil. That's a tough question.
Yeah, I know.
Have I helped?
To some extent, maybe I should ask the exact sentence after the class, because in the book it's talking in a way that they are completely two different things.
Yeah, they're really not. They're very much in the same milieu. They're overlapping.
You know, let me read the sentence for you. The exact sentence is like this. In the early days, the focus was more on appraisal than on evaluation. So I got the meaning like they are two different things.
Yeah, see, I don't like that statement. I mean, that's trying to make a distinction where there isn't one really. Appraisal rather than assessment. Yeah.
Yep.
No, it's a very bad statement because the words are so similar in meaning that they need to explain what they mean. So what is the delta between these things? They need to explain that. They haven't done that. These words are really, really similar.
Not up to here. No, there's no explanation, but I'll send you the paragraph. Thank you.
Okay. Sounds good. Right, any more questions before I go to my vocabulary list? No? Okay. So let me see. Where we finished off last time. We finished off dealing with winding down. It is what it is. Take it or leave it. Inveigled, decoy, entice, inserted, tough love, benefit of the doubt, and level crossing. Do people remember those? I think I might have said I'm winding down with respect to work. I'm winding down. What did that mean? Anyone?
Which one?
Winding down?
No,
No, I don't remember.
No? Anybody remember that?
no,
No? I'm sure I
no,
taught
sir.
it. So winding down is like a clock, right? You know, you in the old-fashioned days, you would wind up a clock, or you'd wind up a watch like that, yeah? You wind up the spring, and then you let it run, and it slowly winds down until it stops, yeah? And in the old days, a watch used to last about a day. So you'd have to wind it up every day, yeah? You all remember this? Am I the only one who remembers this? Watches didn't always work on batteries, you know. So a grandfather clock, you know, the big pendulum in it, it goes tick tock, tick tock. That'll run for several days. And what you do is you wind that up, use a key, and you wind the weight, and it moves up like that. And then you let it run, and the weight slowly falls. And as it falls, it's driving the mechanism of the clock. And so that's the background. And so that word is then used, or that expression is used as a metaphor for slowing down to a stop. So I would have said, I'm winding down my work. I'm winding down. I'm slowing down. Make sense? Comprehende?
Yes, sir.
Elham, Mona, makes sense to you guys?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Okay. And then it is what it is. What does that mean?
Take it or leave it. It was like take it.
Take it or leave it. That's the next thing I'm going to say. It's not the same.
Like this is the situation and we can change it.
Yeah, you've got it. That's it. Yeah, it is what it is. It's, yeah. This is actually a hard expression to define. I realize as I'm thinking about it. It is what it is. Oh, I hate that when some pop star makes, you know, a song with it, and that's the thing that comes up, first thing that comes up in the dictionary. It is what it is. Deal with it, right? It is what it is. It's an expression used to characterize a frustrating or challenging situation that the person believes cannot be changed. Somebody said that, and must just be accepted. So, for example, I could moan about the cost of living in London. It's very expensive. And somebody might say to me, it is what it is. You're not going to change it. You just have to suck it up, right? Suck it up, means just accept it. And you see, it's actually, this is slang, see that? Slang. But it is very common, very common. Okay, I have done water under the bridge before. You see this one down here? What did that mean? It's water under the bridge. It doesn't mean the same.
It was like a situation that has happened and we cannot do anything for that.
Absolutely, that's it. Yeah.
Or might be some bad experience that we don't want to remember right now.
Right.
Present.
Top marks.
Yes.
Top marks. It's usually a regrettable experience, right? It's regrettable. I did something I shouldn't have done. I regret it. But it's water under the bridge. It's done now. It's way down the river. I can't change it. So I just have to get on with it. Yeah. It is what it is. Now, take it or leave it is different. I might go into your property and say, I don't like this, I don't like that, I don't like that. Right. I've got a few complaints. And so the person who's trying to rent me the property might say, take it or leave it. By which they mean, I don't particularly want to listen to your complaints. I just want you to take it or leave it, just, I can't deal with this. Take it or leave it. Make sense?
Sir, here
Yeah.
we generally use this expression for telling like we are like in situation, let's say imagine a situation, we use these expressions by saying that if I giving some proposal to someone for taking or for accepting something, then we always say that either you want to take it or you don't. Then we use it, take it or leave it.
Yeah.
Is it same?
Yeah, it is the same. Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly. It's kind of an ultimatum, what we would call an ultimatum, right? I'm not going to budge. That price you're charging for that motorcycle is too much, way too much. I'm not going to afford that. You need to charge me less. I want $5,000. He wants to pay me $3,000, right? It's too much, too much. So what am I going to say? The price is $5,000, take it or leave it. Unless I want to sell it at any cost, and then I'll negotiate with the guy. And I'll say, okay, $4,000 then. And he'll say, no, $3,000. Most I could do is 3,200. And then I have to decide, I have to make an assessment or evaluate if it's worth it to me. Or do I want to hold on for a better price? So if I want to get my $5,000 and I'm willing to wait for it, I might say, look, the price is $5,000, take it or leave it. In other words, I don't care that you don't think the motorcycle is worth that money. That's how much I'm asking, and you need to cough it up if you want it. So take it or leave it. Everybody good with that? Now the next word is inveigled. Inveigled. Anybody know what inveigled means?
So what you said, legal.
Inveigled. I'll write it. So here's definitions. To entice, lure, or ensnare by flattery or artful talk or inducements. So to inveigle a person into playing bridge. Well, I don't want to play bridge. Elham wants to play bridge with me. I don't really want to play. So she says, if you do that, I'll agree to do something else or whatever. Yeah. And so what she's doing is she's inducing me, persuading me to play bridge because she wants to play bridge. You do that, she says, and I'll make you dinner. How's that? So that's what inveigle means. It's really to persuade somebody else to do something when they don't necessarily want to do it. Acquire, win, or obtain by beguiling talk or methods, usually followed by from or away. To inveigle a theatre pass from a person. Okay, we good with that?
No, sir, I didn't understand.
Okay. To
And so what?
inveigle is to, it can be used with a person or it can be used with an object. So you might have a beautiful gold pen and I'm quite determined to inveigle it, get it for myself, to inveigle it. So it's got this idea of getting somebody something from somebody out of their possession into your possession, or it's to convince somebody to do something, you know, where they get involved in something you wouldn't have otherwise got to know. So let's say Esther calls and her mom says she really needs to go to basketball, but I can't take her. Would you be interested in doing that? And I would say yes. And so I could describe that as I was inveigled. Yeah. So I can inveigle a person or I can inveigle a thing. There's a couple of examples there. To inveigle a theatre pass from a person means I've managed to get it away from you and I've got it myself. To inveigle a theatre pass.
What's the meaning of theater pass? Theater.
Theatre. You know what a
Theatre.
theatre is? Where people act out plays.
Mm. It means deceiving other people.
Possibly. Not necessarily though. You know, often people who are being inveigled know they're being inveigled, you know, and they just accept it.
I can't understand.
To entice, lure, or ensnare by flattery or artful talk or inducements.
It means motivating someone to do something.
Yes, but usually against their will. So there's that aspect to it, getting them to do it against their desires. Have to be coaxed into it, coerced into it. It's not something they want to do willingly. Okie doke.
So can we say inveigle means attractive or to seek someone's attention toward something?
Attractive doesn't necessarily come into it. I mean, and something might be attractive, and that's why you want to inveigle it. Shweta wants to inveigle this wonderful diamond she's seen that Mona has. So she wants it for herself. She's determined to do that. But it's often used in terms of not so much the acquisition of an object, but inveigling yourself into somebody else's situation. So, for example, he inveigled his way into such and such a person's affections. He inveigled his way in, right? So he sort of talked his way in. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir. And sir, what is this playing bridge?
Oh, playing bridge. Bridge is a card game. It's a card game.
Kargan.
Card game.
Sir, what? So could you write in a chat box, please?
So these are cards, playing cards.
Oh, okay, sir.
And these are people playing bridge here.
Mhm.
Play it around a board. And that's what bridge is. So Bill Gates likes to play bridge. Makes sense?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so that was inveigled. Decoy, what is a decoy? Anyone?
Kind of using some tricks to deviate people.
Yeah. It's deliberately something that deceives others. So here's duck decoys. And they're not real. Decoy. Did you hear that? Decoy.
Yeah.
Decoy. Countable 9. If you refer to something or someone as a decoy, you mean that they are intended to attract people's attention and deceive them, for example, by leading them into a trap or away from a particular task. A decoy is a model of a bird that is used to attract wild birds towards it so that people can study them or shoot them. So they're like those pictures that we seen a minute ago. Somebody's planting one to attract other birds so that people can then shoot them. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
And so Then the next word was entice. And to entice is to get somebody to do something that they wouldn't otherwise do. To entice someone to go somewhere or to do something means to try and persuade them to go to a place to do that thing. Retailers have tried almost everything to entice shoppers through their doors. The manager tried to entice some of the rivals club players away. It's like tempting them. They'll entice doctors to move from the cities by paying them better salaries. Let's entice. And then, what does tough love mean? Anyone? Tough love.
They're hard to convince.
No. No, tough love is where you care about somebody, but you're giving them some probably unwelcome advice. They don't want to hear it. And that's called tough love, because you're doing it because you really care. Even though, you know, so for example, if I said, say I commented on somebody's weight, right? That I really did care, I really cared for them. That might be unwelcome, right? Because people don't like to be told that they're fat or whatever. But I'm saying it because I care about the person. If I didn't care about them, I wouldn't say. You know, my wife comes and says, well, what do you think of this dress? Right? Now, the appropriate answer is lovely, it's wonderful, right? But maybe it's really not. And I need to say that and say it's not very flattering on you. So that's an example of tough love. Yeah. Tough love is the practice of being very strict with someone in order to help them overcome a problem of behavior. Well, yeah, that's fairly self-explanatory. That's one way of defining it. It has a wider definition than that, though. The expression tough love is a fairly common one in English. I fancy being a leading actor in a movie. Mona says to me, Alan, let me just tell you, you're too old, mate. So don't try. I don't want to hear that, right? Because I think I'm young and can do anything still. But what she's telling me is the truth, really, even if I don't want to hear it. So I would say that's tough love. Make sense?
Yes, sir.
What does it mean to give someone the benefit of the doubt?
So could you repeat what?
The benefit of the doubt.
Benefit of the doubt.
The benefit of the doubt. D-O-U-T. Benefit of the doubt. Like that.
Oh.
So the benefit of the doubt is said when you doubt someone's competence to, so let's use a word we've used before. So an assessment is made. There you go. I'm assessing whether Elham can do the job. I'm not too sure. I have my doubts. But I give her the benefit of the doubt. I doubt, but I'm not sure she doesn't. I'm going to give her the benefit of the doubt and say you've got the job. Does that make sense?
Would you please give us some examples and sentence?
A favorable opinion or judgment adopted despite uncertainty. I'm willing to give him the benefit of the doubt on this one. Give the people you care for the benefit of the doubt. Should the benefit of the doubt go to the umpires, as in umpire's call? The rest decision giving the benefit of the doubt to the defender. I'm trying to convince Mona, right, about something, and she's not too sure if the thing that I'm suggesting is right for her. But eventually she capitulates and says, okay, I'll give you the benefit of the doubt, Alan, and I'll do it. Does that make sense now?
Teacher, it does. It means that you don't judge someone. I didn't understand.
A judgment of somebody can be involved. It's usually got to do with their competence. So let me give you a real example, right? So when I passed my driving test, I did reasonably well in the driving bit. When it came to the questions and answers, the theoretical bit, theory, I didn't do very well. I got a few answers wrong, but my driving was good, but my knowledge of the highway code was a little bit lacking. And the assessor said, I'll give you the benefit of the doubt and say you've passed. Which didn't feel too good at the time, right? I mean, afterwards I was pleased because then I could drive finally independently with my parents. But he said, I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. So in other words, I don't know if I'm really doing the right thing here by saying you passed this driving exam. Make sense?
No.
What do others think? Others getting it?
Sir,
Yeah.
I'm just repeating what I understand. It can be said when we have some doubts on somebody, but still we are assigning some work on behalf of her or his honesty and deserving of trust.
Yeah, exactly.
Mhm.
So the core of it is you have some doubts about somebody else. And you're saying, I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. So I'll give you a good outcome, even though I've got some misgivings. Yes, Mona.
Teacher, we can say it means, for example, everyone is innocent unless it's proved that is not. Yes.
Yeah, so proven guilty. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, but that's a statement to do with the way law works and courts work.
Mm.
And certainly in this country, we assume everybody is innocent until proven guilty is the full expression, right?
Yes. Is this true about this expression?
So this expression is not a legal expression, right?
Yes.
Whereas what you're talking about is a legal expression. To give someone the benefit of the doubt, it just says we're doubting them, some aspect of them. It could be their performance, it could be their character, but we're giving them the benefit of the doubt. So we'll say we will try and give them a good outcome, whether deserved or not. That's what we're doing by giving them the benefit of the doubt.
Okay, thank you.
And then a level crossing. Does anybody know what a level crossing is? So a level crossing is where a road and a railway track crosses. And obviously, if the train is passing, the cars can't pass. And so barriers need to come down to stop the traffic. That's called a level crossing. I'll show you a picture of one. So here's a picture of what it might look like. So you see that cars and railways at the same level. It's not like the cars go over it on a bridge or under it in an underpass. They go straight across the train is. So if the train was to come when the car is there, it would cut the car in two. That's a level crossing.
Excuse me, level crossing is the bar which goes up and down?
No, we call that a barrier.
Uh-huh.
The barrier. The level crossing is this road here.
Okay, the area.
Yeah, this whole thing here is a level crossing.
Okay, I got it.
And here's one where the train's passing it. You see the barriers are down.
Yeah, thank you.
And here's one here, the barriers are almost down. They're just coming down. Okay. Well, that's all the words in that list. I'll do a couple more and then we'll finish. Conundrum. What is a conundrum?
Does it mean confusion, a state of confusion?
Or a riddle?
Yeah, a riddle is closer to it. A conundrum is a problem which it's insoluble. You can't solve it, right? Like, a confusing and difficult problem or question. One of the most difficult conundrums for the experts, blah, 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 is an example of that. The best shows pose moral conundrums that are hard to solve. An intricate and difficult problem. A question or problem having only a conjectural answer. That's quite a good one. A riddle whose answer is or originates involves a pun, such as why didn't the lost hikers starve in the desert? Because of the sand which is there. Very good, that's a joke. Kids will appreciate that joke. Because of the sand which is there. Yeah. I'll give you a wee smile. Okay, so we've done all those words. Conundrum, shorthand. So are they running into difficulty? Do they need my help? Shorthand. I'm sure I've done shorthand. We'll ask anyway.
Yes, we did.
We did shorthand, didn't we? Yeah.
Yeah.
And then what about back to square one? Have we done that? Back to square one.
We did.
We did that one. Okay. And what about wear your heart on your sleeve?
Come again, please.
Wear your heart on your sleeve?
I don't remember.
No. Anybody else?
No.
So Alan wears his heart on his sleeve, right? And what it means is, if I am happy, I'll tell you. If I'm sad, I'll tell you. Yeah. I wear my heart on my sleeve where everybody can see it. Some people, it's hard to tell how they're doing. Are they up or are they down? You can't really tell. Either they don't seem to suffer from the same vicissitudes as us normal humans, or they do have a good job of hiding it. You know, even if they're very unhappy, sad, or whatever. So that's it. Where your heart and your sleeve means. Okay, last expression I'll do is back to square one. What does that mean? Back to square one. Anyone?
Yeah, it's like you have you have done some tasks, for example, and then because of some reason you have reached to the first place that like you have done nothing.
Yeah. Yeah. And do you know where it comes from? What the etymology is?
Yeah, you said the Monopoly game.
Yeah, exactly. The game board.
Yeah.
Precisely. Well, I better call it quits there because I'm half asleep here, even talking to you guys. I think it's possibly the heat in here in this room. It's very hot. It's 21 degrees outside, and in this room it's even hotter, so that's kind of hot for us. It's making me feel quite soporific. There's a good word. Soporific. Do you know that word? Soporific. Causing or tending to cause sleep. Tending to dull awareness and alertness. Of relating to or marked by sleepiness or lethargy. Soporific.
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 Is that a new word for you guys, or do you know that word?
No, it's
Yeah,
not.
for me.
All right. I'll write it in. Something like that. Okay, everyone, we'll call it quits there. Thank you all for your time.
Thank you. Thank you for your time.
Thank you so much for your time. Bye-bye.
Thank you, sir.
You're very welcome.
Bye.
Bye now.
Thank you, teacher.
Thank
Bye
you, sir.
now. Bye.
Bye.